please thank you everybody for your attention. My name is Joyce Javier, and I'm a pediatrician, and I work mostly with low-income families, ages 0 to 21, at Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. And I'm going to talk to you about our initiative called the Filipino Family Health Initiative. It's led by our team called Team Kapwa, and Kapwa stands for Increasing Knowledge About Positive Parenting with All. All right, so this is who I am. As I mentioned, I am a wife and a mother, a daughter, a granddaughter, and a physician researcher, but also a community member. And again, this is our team. We are a multidisciplinary team made up of mental health, health professionals, including social workers, and parents, grandparents, and community organizations, churches, schools, and also grandparents as well. And our goal is to prevent teen depression and suicide in the Filipino community. This initiative would not be possible without our many student, undergraduate, graduate, and also professional student interns who have been part of our program. They volunteered endless hours, in person, pre-pandemic, and then post-pandemic, virtually. And the theme from today, has been, how do we give back and pay it forward? This program would also not be possible without our over 200 now Filipino families who've participated in our workshops, which I'll tell you more about, and the over 500 who participated in our studies. So I wanted to just start a little bit about sharing, where I came from, so to understand the context of why I'm interested in this work. So my parents grew up in La Union, Agoo, some half Ilocano, and Baco or Cavite. My lolo fought in World War II and was able to lift themselves out of poverty and have us immigrate here to the US. My lolo and lola are farmers, and all of their kids were able to graduate with a college degree. Growing up, I was very close with my grandmother. She taught me the importance of family and education, and I remember when she passed away, I really wanted to tell her, I'm sorry, Lola, if I wasn't always there for you, and thank you for everything you've done for me, and I love you. But those words didn't come out because we didn't really say those words growing up. As a teenager, it was confusing watching American television, but I learned that my parents showed their love in different ways, right? By working 2 to 3 jobs, sacrificing everything to come here. And I soon learned that, that kind of disconnect and that connection wasn't just happening with me, but it was happening with other Filipino families in the community. And I also learned that it was happening, across the US. And I think that is a huge kind of disconnect that we can try to amend. And so what we did was we partnered with the community to ask, how can we prevent these mental health issues in the Filipino community? And we started with the data and described what these issues were. But the community said, let's focus on the school age years to offer parenting support to parents of school-age children. And we use a program called the Incredible Years, and this is our theory of change, which I won't go over in detail. But this program is based on over 30 years of research, treats parents as experts in their children, but also teaches them to be proud and promote cultural identity, which is so critical, as you can see here. This is really important because although Asians make up 6% of the US population, less than 1% of the federal funding goes to Asians. I'm happy to say that one of my grants focused on Filipinos is in that less than 1%. And so this is what we've been doing now for over a decade. We've been offering these programs in person, but with the pandemic, we've been now able to offer them online. And so it moved from just LA to California statewide, and now we are able to offer it in the Philippines and also to any family living in the US. And we do a lot of promotion through social media, and we recently had this article that talked about the importance of talking about feelings with our kids and also promoting cultural pride. so that we can show that your mental health improves. We were able to show in our most recent study that when parents participate in a 12-week workshop, their children report less depression and anxiety symptoms. And that is a huge problem because right now with the pandemic, the youth are really, really struggling. We're seeing like emergency rooms full of teenagers who tried to attempt suicide who don't have a bed. So we really need to focus on prevention. So I wanted to show this video from one of our interns who is now graduating from medical school this year. She's going to be a cardiologist, and I can't wait to see what her future is. She's probably going to study Filipino health, and help us understand, that issue in our community.
I was raised around education. My mother, a strong-willed Filipina, lifted herself out of poverty through a college scholarship. I thus learned early on that education is the key to success. I am grateful for this upbringing. I believe that my accomplishments now became possible through my mom's guidance. However, revolving a life around school brought immense pressure. Everyone expected me to do well. So, whenever I experienced setbacks, I immediately had negative thoughts. Why am I not smart enough? Why am I such a failure? I am nothing. Even worse, I internalized everything. I believed that I simply wasn't trying hard enough. I also refused to open up to my parents. How could I crush their dreams? They uprooted our life in the Philippines for my siblings and I to have better futures. So, I chose to suffer silently. Fortunately, things got better as I grew older. Yet, I know that others are not so lucky. Filipino youth continue to face mental health problems. That is why I became involved with the Filipino Family Health Initiative. I want to prevent today's youth from experiencing the struggles I faced. But even if they do face struggles, my hope is that our initiative will give families the skills to overcome challenges together. At the same time, joining FFHI changed my family dynamics. Through our program, The Incredible Years, I learned to communicate with my parents and tell them about the joys of young adulthood. I also became a better adult. I am more patient with my little sister. I tell her that I love her. And I remind her, just as I hope to remind all young people out there, that although an education is valuable, what's most important is your mental health and well-being.
All right, we'll skip the next video because of time, so we can go to the next slide. But while she's pulling that up, basically I have like a one-slider that shows what you can do. So basically we want to create this culture of mental health and healthy parenting in the community, and what our goal is to offer these parenting workshops in the US and in the Philippines and perhaps beyond. And we have been shown that we can decrease physical punishment, parenting stress, anxiety, and depression with these groups and develop strong networks within these families. And what I learned, was that, it's never too late. I asked my grandmother before she passed away, are you proud of me, Lola? That's what I wanted to know. And she said yes. And I said, why? And she said, because you love me. So please don't wait until it's too late. Let's let our family members know how much they mean to us, but also speak up when we feel like we want a closer relationship with them. Thank you.